What's going on, HPP fam? Welcome back to another episode. I'm JD, and the guy wrenching over there on the Challenger, that's Gio. Anyways, this week we are kicking it off with our Ram going on home. We've got a 2017 Charger that we're checking on a coolant leak, but I think it's okay. And then we are currently wrapping up. You see, we left you on Friday with the motor back in. Gio has almost got it all back together. So, got a bunch of stuff to take care of underneath. Still got the alternator, AC compressor, radiator, some belt and stuff, but the heart is all back in, and hopefully this afternoon we'll hear it fire up. So that's exciting. So let's see where we end up.
This is the first startup. See how it goes. Never mind, I lied.
Now that Gio's not full of shit, let's try again. It's my fault, but we won't tell him.
Nope.
You wanna tell him? You wanna tell him about it, Gio?
Had a shift lever. Had the shift lever off. It wasn't in park.
There you have it. That'll keep it from starting. Alright. Take three. Because you know what they say, the third time's the charm. That's what they say. And like I always say, a real first start, because you know all them scrubs on the internet be starting it, making sure there ain't nothing wrong, and then filming. But as you can see, we don't do that. So, I know I left you guys in suspense yesterday with what was going on and why this thing wasn't running right. And let me get you up to speed. And since the car is all back together and outside, ready to go home. So, the reason why it sounded weird was because this is a stock rebuild. 100% stock rebuild. Stock cam, stock lifters, stock everything, except the pistons that we put in here are oversized pistons, because we were not able to get standard bore pistons in a reasonable amount of time to get the car back to the customer. So we thought it was best to go ahead and bore and hone the block and put the car back together. So in that process, anybody who's ever worked on these Dodges, you know, when we do cam installs, we remove those MDS solenoids majority of the time and put in the plugs. So that block got completely stripped down, and we know that those solenoids do not come out. They don't come out nicely. You might get lucky and get one out, but highly doubt it. Anybody that's messed with them knows they will break 99% of the time. So it didn't have any of those. So when I picked the block up from the machine shop, didn't think none of it. Had Gio put the motor together. He didn't think none of it. He put the plugs in there, and then we put the car together. Well, this car is 100% stock. We did not put a camshaft in it. It got a stock cam, stock lifters. And with that being the case, you cannot run the engine without those solenoids if you're running the MDS lifters. So the vehicle was running in 4-cylinder mode. That's why it sounded weird. So hit up our local Dodge house, got the solenoids, got them put in the block. Now the car runs perfectly and it's ready to go back home. So I just wanted to touch base with you on that one, so you guys knew what was going on. Moral of the story is, you can leave the MDS solenoids in there, turn it off in the tune, and put a cam in and not have any problems. However, you cannot do the inverse. You cannot remove those solenoids and not remove the lifters, because in the natural state, they are in the off position, which means the cylinders will not fire. Well, they'll fire, but they won't. The lifter will not oil up, so that way it can actually move the push rod. And the cylinders that happens on is 1, 7, 3, and 4. Or no, excuse me, 1, 7, 4, and 6. So, in the meantime, as we step back into the shop, because I am rambling, Gio is working on the next project, which that is this S550 Mustang GT. Don't remember what year this thing is, but it's pretty new. It's 18 plus for sure. This is a stick car, 6-speed manual, and it is getting a set of Texas Speed long tube headers. So we're getting crack-a-lacking on that project. We'll see how far we get. So as you can see, one header's on, working on the other side, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rocking on this SRT and getting the transmission pulled out of this one, because we got a rear main seal leak among some other small things to fix. So let's get after it. Ooh. As you can see, our S550 has a set of headers on there and some dangly O2 sensor wire, but we'll get that tidied up. As you can see, the long tubes are all in, connected up to the exhaust nicely. Looking good. Firing this thing up, see what they sound like here shortly. And our neon is about to go back together. Rear main seal and a bunch of the water lines on the back side of the motor have been repaired. Lots of things wrong with this car, and now that I've deep dived into it, now I can discuss with the customer, like, hey, what do you want out of this thing? Because we can put it together and we can make it run the best with what it has, but really it needs some love. So we shall see. We're gonna hopefully try to get this thing back together today too. So on this Friday morning, we're kicking out our header job. It is all wrapped up and test driven and ready to go home. So I'm back this thing out, park it out front. Back to the customer. We fixed the shock on our Scat from the dealership, and we still have to finalize everything on our neon and then see why our low beam headlights aren't working on that one, so we can get it on back to the customer. And we are diving into another week, picking up the camera late. Hope everybody had a good Halloween. And I need to charge the battery on the phone. This one's here for a tune. It doesn't run, so we're diagging why it doesn't run, because even though it just got a cam, they should run. It'll die, but it should run. It don't run. So we're diving into that, and Alfonso's Corvette is about ready to fire up. That's exciting. So let's dive right in, see where we end up. So as you guys seen, Alfonso's car fired up, kinda. It is missing the map sensor, and it's got a bunch of stuff going on, so I just wanted to fire it up so that way Alfonso could hear and see all the progress that we've made, being that it is all together, minus a few things. So we still got to do the boost controller and get some sensors working and put the map sensor on, but overall it's working. So we're gonna go ahead and dive back into our Mustang deal and check out on what's going on with this truck. Your boy cold, chilly this morning, but we've got our Mustang all wrapped up. Well, Gio's putting the final touches on it. So let me recap on this so you guys know, and if anybody runs into this, here's a solution. Hold on. like that. A twin turbo Corvette is alive. Still got a lot of work to do. Got to wire in the boost controller. We got to get a dipstick on the inside. Got an exhaust leak on the inside. So it's alive, baby. Good oil pressure, idling good. Come up to operating temp, maybe. Check for leaks. Let's go. So guys, let's dive into our 2020 Ram that has been dropped off for a tune that we have been tearing apart because it didn't run. And this is what we found so far. So, first thing off the bat, I had Geo pull the front cover of the engine. The reason being, we did our due diligence and did a verification that we had spark and we have fuel, and the engine would not fire up. Without the tune, regardless, a cam car will fire up until it goes into closed loop, open loop, can't remember, I always get them confused. Either way, they'll fire up until they warm up enough and then they end up dying. This thing would not start at all. So, had them pull the front cover, we put the motor at TDC, and the timing mark is off by at least one whole tooth. Could be more, but at least one whole tooth. So then I told them, well, we need to pull that off, so go ahead and take the rocker covers off, or the valve covers off, so we can get the rocker shafts out. And lo and behold, we had stock push rods in here as well. Can't have stock push rods, which you guys, I'll link the episode up here. Another truck that got dropped off for a tune that another shop did the work and they put stock push rods in. Can't do that with a stock, or can't do that with an aftermarket cam. So as you can see, Geo has about got the other side valve cover off of this thing. Once that's off, then we can go ahead and break timing and see if we got any more damage. Hopefully when we pull our phaser off, it's actually aligned with the cam properly and that the timing is just off, and not that they missed it and the phaser slipped. But we shall see. Thank you. So guys, back from lunch. Got a Hell Kitty. You guys have seen this car before. We're gonna be putting it on the dyno and doing some dag on this one, as well as some correspondence. And as you can see, the shop is filled up with some more stuff and some stuff you don't usually see. But like I said, we maintain vehicles for customers' wives and family members because they trust our work, which we highly appreciate. We're also about to get rolling on this 2023 last call. We're doing an airlift suspension on it, so that's exciting. Get this thing, this wide body, nice and low. And then we also have this 2024 Kia that we are putting a wang on. I don't know the name of the wing, but it's a pretty cool looking one. I'll show you guys after I unwrap it here in a little bit. Get it installed on the trunk. But this K5 GT is pretty sweet. I like the interior. Let me show you guys real quick. For a Kia, that's nice. Very nice. And then side note, Geo did get the timing busted on this thing, and it was off. And he currently just torqued it, judging by that torque wrench being out. So now the motor is properly timed. So now we just need some push rods that are correct, and then we'll be able to slam this thing back together. Alright guys, so it's early in the morning, but check it out. I got the wing wrapped up this morning on this 2024 Kia K5. And boy, does it look sharp. I'm very happy with how it came out. Even though this is for the stingers, I think it looks good. Made it work. Even though it's not supposed to fit this car, seems to fit very nicely. So I'm gonna get this thing on outside. The customer should be here to pick it up this morning. So 2023 wide body, last call, getting airlift. So It got a full airlift suspension. I did not film any of it. However, unfortunately, we had a problem. Passenger side rear bag has a crack in it. My light's still going over here. Everything's pulled out of it. Get this back on the charger. Unfortunately, it's all blown apart. We've ordered another bag. It'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll be able to show you guys that thing finished out. Really sucks. I hate being behind or letting a customer down. But I don't know whether it is our bad or just a bad part. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I ordered the customer. Sorry, I'm plugging my light in. I ordered the customer a new bag. It'll be here tomorrow. Even if I tried to do a warranty claim, I wasn't gonna get a bag tomorrow if I did a warranty claim. So as far as business goes for us, we're just gonna get the part and get it fixed, get it back to the customer, and we can deal with the airlift on our own time, and not waste the customer's time. Stepping back over here to our Ram 1500 2020. Gio has just finished putting the correct push rods in the motor. So this thing got cammed, to recap, got cammed at another shop, and they did not do a good job. The motor was mistimed, and they put stock push rods in. So whether that's on purpose, lack of knowledge, whatever the case may be, truck didn't run. Truck will run and get tuned and leave here, because we're gonna get them situated and get it right. So hopefully this afternoon we'll hear this thing fire up for the first time. We still got to get the valve covers, intake, and all the accessory drives back on this thing, but should get it up and running. Boom, fast forward to what we have on the dyno. This is a 2007 Chevy Silverado with a 5.3 liter that's got a little cam action. And so we just got everything set up. We're about to make some pulls on this one. Fixed the oxygen sensor problem, and it's ready to make some pulls. And then our 2018 Charger, we got the ECU unlocked, and I didn't film this one. It's an all stock car. Just had a few little issues. It's a dealership car, so went in, unlocked the ECU, fixed the issues that it had with it, and that one's good to go. Back to the customer. So let's get this heavy Chevy fired up. Good looking pickup truck. This actually belongs to the same customer that we did the airlift in the Mustang, that 2015, 2014 Mustang GT. But this is truck. So make a rip in this thing, see what it makes. Alright guys, so a little bit of a short run, second gear, stock drive shaft in this thing. So speaking of stock drive shaft, let's see what we were looking at speed wise. About 85, so that's okay, that's not too crazy. And it looks like the program's about to crash. Anyways, it made 277 horsepower, 294 foot-pounds of torque on that pull. As you can see, it dives down, and that's because our air fuel is super rich, even though I can't show you because the computer's freaking out. So I'm gonna dive into this tune, pull some fuel out, see where we end up. I don't think I showed you guys what we did on the trunk on this one, but as you can see, it's all tucked nicely down in the trunk. Just waiting on that bag so we can get this joker on back to the customer. And just like that, we made tremendous gains. You've seen the pulls, and here's our final tug. Ooh, focus. 315 horsepower, 310 foot-pounds of torque. That's about a 20 horsepower gain. Pretty good. I'm happy with it, so pop this thing off the rolls, go take it for a test drive, and get it on back to the customer. It's alive! So obviously we still need to tune it, but it is up and running. It's mad, isn't it? It's alive. So guys, as you just seen, this Evo 10 dropped by for some dyno pulls, and thing made some sting. Ooh, focus. 514, 386. Very nice. So I'll take you guys on a quick tour underneath this car. As you can see, we've got our airlift suspension installed all the way around, all four corners. Got our lines all nicely zip tied, tucked away. So we're gonna set this thing down, finish calibrations, and I'll show you what it looks like outside slammed. Ta-da! Sure looks good. Looks right outside. So guys, I'm going to set you up on the tripod and show you this thing going up and down real quick. We're going to give her a once over and give her on down. Let's get her closer. So guys, as you can see, we have a new one on the dyno. This one got dropped off yesterday. Gio is currently pulling out the fuses so that way we can dyno it. Leave that hood open. We're gonna be tuning. So we're getting this one set up on the dyno, and as you see, our truck's outside, and it finished up at 408 horsepower, 432 foot-pounds of torque. I know the customer will be very happy with that. He will be getting it back. And then as you can see, our Hellcat Red Eye has its stock suspension all back on it. We removed the air suspension off of it because unfortunately this customer is getting rid of this beautiful 850 horsepower Hellcat. So sad, but it is ready to go home too. So well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.